My next guest will face Henry Corrales in a featherweight bout on October the 29th at Bellator 250. And of course, it is Brandon Girtz himself. Brandon, it's been too long since I've seen you, my man. How you doing?
I'm great, bro. I'm doing real good, brother. Getting excited, I'm doing good. Things are looking good.
So obviously, last time I caught up with you at the Mohegan Sun, your boy Grant had another big win. What has life been like since you've been back in Colorado? And how's my boy Vici? How's he doing?
It's been great, bro. And Vinci's good, you know. I mean, he's always around. He's out, you know. He don't leave my side, bro. So he's always around. It's been good, brother. Since then, it's kind of been go time. After that was that was my boys' weekend, but it was kind of also a weekend for me to see how everything was working. With the Corona day or whatever COVID days or whatever you want to call this crap. I wasn't really looking to fight for a second during it because I didn't know what it would be like and how weird it would be, how everything would be running. And then after seeing that weekend, how Bellator did it, and it's pretty damn smooth. It was pretty smooth. You were there. It's nothing, other than a little bit of quarantine and walking around and everybody freaking telling me to put my mask on every 2 damn seconds. But other than that, it was no issue. So that was kind of the weekend when I knew, like, okay, you're going to be fighting soon. That kind of got it started, like, all right, it's work time.
Sure, for sure. Do you feel like seeing everything and having to go through it with Grant the last time that you were down there, it's going to benefit you here and just kind of have your routine a little bit more dialed in for this fight?
100%. Because I got to see, instead of wondering what the weekend would be like, I got to see what it was like. I'm sure that was the first weekend that they did it. So I'm sure they've fine-tuned even a few things now and whatnot. But, versus coming in and not knowing what to expect, I know what to expect now. I think it was a trial run. I got to see it all. I got to walk it. I got to feel it. I got to feel the arena with nobody in it, which I loved. Everything about it, I got to see it. And I think it was it was a great experience.
Now, obviously, I interviewed you before Grant fought that night. Tell me, what is your, I guess, overall takeaway? I mean, honestly, you were the loudest corner the whole night cheering for him, which I loved, man. Just tell me, your overall takeaway from his performance.
It was a great performance. He dominated, obviously, my mentality, I'm looking, kill, and I wanted him to finish the guy, and he could have, Grant's a smart fighter, so he played it out how he should have. Could he have finished that guy? Absolutely. That guy wanted an out, in Grant, what's crazy is Grant's a wrestler, but that the guy had nothing for him on the feet, and if he would have kept it on the feet, that guy would have been dead. He had. I mean, when I saw his punch in the second round, like there wouldn't be a 12-year-old that'd be scared of that punch, and like you said, I was the loudest out there because I get into it, like that's watching someone that I love like Grant, like all the love I got for him, and watching something like that, I'm zoomed in on that. I looked back at it a little bit and I was like, because like you said, I got to feel it and be there. And I looked back and I was like, shit, I kind of don't even remember any of the other part because I just zoned right into it, like I was like, I didn't really like take it in, like being in there that too much because I zoned right in and to him and to the fight, and like everything else was ghosted, so it was good. It was fun, and he did great. Like I said, he dominated. I mean, he had a freaking 30-24 or something on the scorecards.
Yeah.
Like the guy didn't touch him, but like I said, I'm always looking. I want him to dominate and smash and finish, and that was probably what I was yelling the whole time, to finish the guy, because I could see that guy had nothing for him. That was a wounded deer out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Very impressive performance. Seeing him in person, there was something about him, I don't know if it's his stature or his fighting style or what it is, that reminded me a little bit of Daniel Cormier. Can you see that?
Yeah, Cormier without the fat, though.
Yeah, right. I mean, I have respect, for both of them. I guess like the pressure, the wrestling, the strength with the punches, like everything, putting it together, man. It just reminded me a little bit of just when I see DC inside the cage, and obviously take away that the Stipe performances, the two losses. But I mean, DC never loses. He's always in there dominating. Can you see that comparison though?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you said, the wrestling pedigree and just the dominance with the strikes. I mean, his strikes are clean, so are DC's. I can see, like I said, everything but the physique, It's the same, freaking Grant's dude, I wouldn't call him an up and comer anymore, but he's somebody that we need to watch for in that, because he's talented, man, and his work. And when you talk about DC, I look at that work ethic the same. I know DC's a work, like DC ain't out there. He's doing all the correct things, and that's what Grant is. He's doing all the correct things, man. You see some of these young cats coming up and doing stuff, and they're not doing all the things to do what you want to do. They're out, they come to training a little bit, and then they party a little bit. They do this, they do that, they miss a workout. Grant's in there 24/7. I'm not one to, honestly, throughout this sport, I've always been very selfish with my time. Like, I'm a fighter. I'm not there to be I'm a training partner, but I'm not there to, like, give all my energy to get other people ready for their fights. But Grant, I've kind of, pulled in because of his work ethic, his drive, like, he's not missing days. I'm not going to give my effort or help anybody that's coming in and they want my help, but then they miss practice the next day, or they come in for all sparring days, but they don't come into the hard wrestling days. Grant comes to everything, and that's why I've really come. I mean, if I look back, like, I've barely cornered people in my life, and it's not about, like, I just don't give that energy out to anybody. But Grant it's a whole different thing, because he puts it in. He reminds me when I was younger. You come in and you do everything right. You're supposed to be here every day. You're not missing the days because you want to do this. This is your job, and that's how he takes it. And we're gonna be watching that dude rise real fast.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what is in store in his future. It's clearly very, very bright. I also have to ask you, I know we talked about it a little bit before, but the Khabib Gaethje fight is right around the corner. Just tell me, man, like how good is Justin looking as the fight gets closer? And give me your official prediction here before the biggest pay-per-view of the year comes to fruition.
Dude, I think all that people have to do to think about Gaethje at the moment is to look back at that Tony Ferguson fight. Like, come on, like, quit downplaying him or shit like that. It's like Tony Ferguson came in there and people were like, he was preparing for Khabib. Tony Ferguson was preparing for war. I don't give a fuck who he was preparing for. He was preparing for a war and a hard fucking fight, and that's what Gaethje brought to him. And he didn't touch Gaethje. That was the best Gaethje I've seen, and the fight before that was the best Gaethje I've seen. The fight before that was the best Gaethje I've seen. And what I'm saying is we keep seeing the best Gaethje every time he steps out there. And I think we're going to see even a better one here. I mean, like I said, I've seen Gaethje for the last 6 years, and that Tony Ferguson fight impressed me. And I've been supportive of him my whole life, and that impressed me. And that just shows how much more he keeps evolving and believing in himself, the confidence he has. He's going to bring that same stuff into the Khabib fight. I know Khabib is different than Tony. Yeah, Tony's I've even told people when the Tony and Khabib fight might happen, I thought Tony might beat Khabib, honestly. And then look at what Gaethje did to him, and you want to take credit away because he wasn't preparing for Gaethje. Shut up. Tony goes to the gym and does what he does. He doesn't change it. Tony's kicking pipes and doing whatever the fuck he does, the same he would have done for Khabib. Was he wrestling bears or doing whatever to prepare for for Khabib versus kicking pipes and punching brick walls? I don't know, but Tony prepared for a war, and he prepared himself just like he would prepare for any freaking fight. So to take that away from him, like I've seen people do every time Tony was preparing for Khabib, I just want to smack him, like, get out of here. Mm-hmm. And we saw what he can do, and I think we're gonna see some crazy shit. Do I have it? Of course, I think my boy Gaethje is gonna win. Of course. Do I think he's fighting one of the best fighters in the world? Yes. And when it gets down to some of these top level people, when you're at the upper edge of everybody, like it's that person's given night. It can go any way. I'm not gonna say Gaethje's a lock. Of course, I don't truly believe that. Do I think he's gonna win? And do I think they're both two of the best 55ers in the world? Absolutely. You know, the world's got a treat seeing these two. You know, and when Khabib comes in and we know Khabib's diving for legs, he's gonna come into shit. And Gaethje isn't going to hold back. That's what is amazing and why Gaethje has the best chance of any other lightweight in the division in the world to take him on, because when he comes in, Gaethje's not going to be afraid to throw. He's not going to hold back. He's not going to think, oh, shit, I might get taken down if I throw this punch, this kick, this knee. Gaethje's going to throw it all with reckless abandonment like he's done his whole fucking career. He's going to throw power. And it's if Khabib can handle it and keep coming in, because I honestly see him, fuck yeah, he might take Gaethje down. I would take Gaethje down. Gaethje gets back up. Gaethje is one of the most scrambling type motherfuckers I've ever met. And he's going to do it, and he's going to get up, and you know what's going to happen? Khabib's going to try to take him down again, because Khabib is not going to stand and strike with him. I don't give a crap. He is not going to. I mean, he's not going to stand and strike with him. He's going to try to take Gaethje down again and try to tire Gaethje out. The thing is, Gaethje might get tired, but you never see it. You don't see it. He keeps going. He's a machine out there, and I think some of those shots are going to start to get sloppy, and Gaethje's gonna freaking catch him. I obviously I'm biased, man, but I'm seeing some great shit landing on him, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see Khabib get brought to a waters he's never been in, you know. And this isn't me saying he can't take Gaethje down. Of course he can take Gaethje down. Like, the guy's relentless, and he's one of the best at it. It's if he can hold them down there constantly, because when they're on the feet, they're in Gaethje's waters.
You know, one of the things that I find really interesting about this fight is Khabib has never fought an all-American wrestler in his UFC tenure. So this is going to be a whole nother animal for Khabib in this fight with Justin Gaethje. Obviously on the feet with Gaethje's power, but then the wrestling defense and the scrambling ability. I am really, really intrigued about this fight, and I'm actually going with your boy. I think he's going to shock a lot of people. I think he's going to get the win. One question here. Do you know what he walks around at? How much weight does he have to cut to get to 55?
You know what's crazy is he's gotten bigger through the years. You know, his cuts used to be super easy, but he also used to not believe in weights and believe in strength and conditioning. Through the last, 2-3 years, he's been working out at Lando's Performance, and he's gained a little mass. He's a big dude. He used to get up bigger, but it wasn't muscle because of muscle. The dude's Mexican. He likes to eat stuff. He likes to indulge. So he used to get up into the 85s and stuff like that. But he walking around 180 right now in lean. He's big. He's a big dude. Like I said, I mean, right now, it's because it's funny. It gives me shit because I'm going fucking 45, so I'm smaller, and we fuck around, and he's a lot bigger than me at the moment. And he's like, don't mess around. You're a 45er now, dude. He's like, so it's funny. And we look at each other, and I'm like, damn, you are bigger than me, though. You are pretty big right now.
And obviously, we're going to dive into this whole Bellator fight and the transition down to featherweight. I do have one other UFC-related question for you. I wanted to get your thoughts on Michael Chandler going to the UFC and how you think he is going to do. Obviously, you fought him previously. How do you think he's going to stack up there?
Dude, he's a top 10 in the world. I mean, 55 is the toughest. I don't think it is the toughest division. I think we walk around, you get power, you get speed, you get everything at 55. It's literally kind of the average size man in a way. You look at it like there's a lot of people at that weight, and there's a lot of good people because that's your average size person, so you're gonna get that, 55 and 70 and type that's why there's so many studs at that weight, because that's the average size dude, that's cutting lean and shit. And with Michael Chandler, dude, I love it how everybody, all the UFC cronies and he's coming in, but the dude just wiped out Ben Henderson. I get it, but Ben Henderson's later in his years and whatnot, but we still know that dude's a stud, and Ben Henderson still looks the same that he looked before. You don't look at him like he's lost a step. He hasn't. And he hasn't. When was the last time he was finished? It doesn't even, we don't even know. The dude is I call him the rubber man. Remember when he came over to the Bellator and he fought, how do you say his name? I don't want to mess up his name. The 170-pound champ. That was the one. Ben Henderson's first fight in Bellator. He fought for the 170-pound belt. And it was it's with a K. I don't want to mess up his name, but the guy that Lima's had, I think, back and forth fight with. Anyways, that guy freaking was ragdolling him. He was nailing him with punches that would murder a bull. He was hitting him with stuff, and Ben Henderson was alive that whole fight.
Koreshkov,
yes, Koreshkov. He was beating the crap out of Ben Henderson, punching him, nailing him. Ben Henderson's hair looked like it was going to fly off. Like, he was nailing him with shots where I was like, ref, stop. Like, stop it. I don't want him to get hit anymore. Like, I was cringing, and I'm about this life. Like, and I wanted it to stop. And he took him. My point is, that guy can take punches. He doesn't get put away. And we just saw him got put out cold by Michael Chandler, because Michael Chandler's got power. He's explosive, and his wrestling's top notch. Overall wrestling, I don't think there's anybody better in the 55-pound division there. I don't. Overall wrestling, I don't think in the top 10. Maybe there's some Olympic guy that can only wrestle somewhere. I don't know all the names. I don't know as much, but in the top 10, none of them are better wrestlers than Chandler. None of them. And I honestly, I see him in the top 5, and again, when you get at 55, all those top 5 are inches, centimeters away from each other. They're all complete animals and some of the best fighters we've ever seen ever. That's what the 55 division is right now. That's what I think some people, I know a lot of people do, people understand, but some people don't understand how good the 55-pound division is right now. Like, these guys are all amazing. Like, someone that's like, this guy's way better. It's like, stop it right now. They're not way better. Freaking Tony and Gaethje. Like, Tony is a top 5 animal up there. And it was Gaethje's night. Not to say Gaethje wouldn't do that to him again, but those two are still centimeters away from talent. Is what I believe. Gaethje, obviously, I'm biased, and I think, he wins every freaking time. But that they're that good. That's how good he made somebody that good look like that.
Right.
And that, I'm just saying, that top 5 is amazing. And I think Chandler's right up there, and I think he's gonna show people that whoever he fights next, because he can wrestle anybody. He fights Poirier. He wins that. I think he takes that down. That's a fight. Why I say Poirier is exactly who I would love for him to fight. That's the fight I would love to see. Again, we probably gonna get to Tony Ferguson. Then we're going to see some shit. Anything can happen in that, like, that's a great fight. But I think he competes with everybody in the top 5. And I like the Poirier fight because I think we for sure see him win. And I want his first fight in the UFC for him to win. Like, I'm cheering that dude on. Since I've been in Bellator, I saw when I signed with Bellator back fucking damn near 10 years ago now, my first stint is we fly into Orlando to do a photo shoot. And he already, I believe he was champion, or I think he was champion by then. So 10 fucking years ago, whatever it was, he was champion or something. And I just remember, and he was there at that photo shoot, and I was looking, I'm like, that's who I want to fight, and the whole time, my whole career, that's who I've been looking at fighting. He was the top person I felt in Bellator, and obviously I got to fight him. Circumstances, injuries, or no excuses, and I'm a little hurt when he signed, because now that takes away, now I never thought, of leaving Bellator, but now I'm like, God, I want to fight Chandler. Like, I get it. I did get a chance, but You know, I take that one is, I don't really give a crap about any of my losses. That one right there, I'm like, fuck. That's the person I've been looking to fight my whole life. And I felt good in that fight. I felt it. I felt his power. I felt his stand up. I felt everything. And I felt right there. You know, I'm like, this is the people I'm supposed to be fighting. Like, this dude made me want to fight harder. Like, I get in there sometimes, like, and I don't want to bring up the last one, but like, I get in there and I don't fight quite the same because I don't feel that energy. I don't feel like, motherfucker, you gotta go because this guy's gonna kill you. You know, like, I love feeling like that, aka why I asked for the guy I'm fighting now, because I think he brings that. It makes me want to fucking fight, because otherwise you're getting knocked out, you know. And
Right.
Chandler's that guy. So I just can't wait to see who he fights first, man. And I want him. I'm cheering him on. You know, I've had respect for him ever since I've signed. You know, like, now we're super cordial and whatnot, but I try to always keep that edge and not be cordial, because that's how I like to do it. You know, with, like, once you're cordial with me, now I'm like, okay, we're cool, and it takes a little bit of my shit away. You know, and I
Sure.
like not liking people.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. You're on a fire. You're on a roll right now. You're on fire with your analysis here in this interview. You might have a future as someone sitting at the desk next to Chael. When you're done fighting, just keep that in mind, my friend. Now let's talk about this move to featherweight, because we talked about it a little bit. You told me you were considering it. Now here we are against Henry Corrales, a very game fighter, a veteran fighter, and someone that's very much like yourself. He'll walk you down and bring the fight to you. Tell me first, what went behind the move to make your decision to go down to featherweight?
You know, it's been a thought my whole career, really. Like, it's been one of those things. If there was a 50-pound division, that's what I would be fighting. You know, when I first started fighting in 55 and stuff, and why I kept doing 55 is, back in wrestling, I went to 45 once 41 in my life, and I freaking hated my life. I had no balance. I had no care. So I kind of, after that, like, I had this thing in my head, like screw cutting weight all the time. I have to have balance in my life. And at that moment and through my career, it was too much. I didn't enjoy it. If I didn't have any enjoyment in life, then what's the point? So I always kind of stayed at 55 because I was able to still enjoy and focus on training, not focus on losing weight. The focus has always been on training, not losing weight. But during this pandemic and whatnot, and on top of that, I had a little injury early on in the pandemic. I wasn't lifting weights. I wasn't doing any of that. And AKA lifting weights has kind of been my thing my whole life. I love it. So I literally never really missed a day. So with the pandemic, I wasn't lifting weights. So, I was doing, backyard workouts, push-ups, pull, shit like that. But there was zero weights involved. And through that time, I started losing weight. All of a sudden, instead of walking around bigger, I was 5 pounds lighter than normal. And then when we went to the fight and we got it, we talked to some people, and I was lighter. It was like, dude, I'm out there. I could have fucking made weight at 55 while I was out there. I could have fucking fought somebody. I even joked. I was like, anybody falls out, I can get in. I was that low. So it just kind of naturally made sense. Like I said, we've talked about it. It's been a thing. I've always said if the opportunity is right, I would go 45. I kind of fucked up on that by not doing the tournament, but that's another story. After I knock out Corrales, I'm gonna be like, who's the alternate? Because there should be a damn alternate for one of
Yeah.
these fucking things, and they're gonna choose me after they see me put this guy's head in the stands. So it was a natural progression. It wasn't about how I've never not felt strong at 55. I've never been in there and been like, dude, I'm too small. I was at 170 once or twice, and I did feel too small at that weight. But fucking 55, it wasn't. It just really never was, and it just naturally just felt right. And I started looking at the matchups. And I look at 55, and I've literally fought freaking everybody in the top 10. Like, literally everybody but Pitbull, which is weird. I don't know how we've never fought. I don't get how we've never fought. But I fought in a lot of them, And then I looked at 45, I fought none. And I look at 45, there's a lot of young killers at 55 is looking a little older. I'm not saying I'm a young buck neither, but 55 is a little older. I looked at 45. I'm like, there's a bunch of young killers that come and they fight. They go forward and they fight. And I was like, a lot of good matchups is what went on in my head. I'm like, a lot of new matchups. I don't have to, at 55, if I want to get back to that belt, I got to fight people I already fought. And to me, it's kind of boring. I looked at 45, it was exciting. I was like, I got to fight all new people. I got to fight some killers. You know, there's some true people at 45 that are top level MMA fighters, you know, and it excited me. It excited me about the new challenge to get down to 45. A big part of it was the sacrifice I've had to make, or that I would have to make 45. I knew I would have to, you know, like, I haven't ate a potato chip in, you know, freaking 30 days. That's my Achilles. Like, I love potato chips. Like, I was at a point where I would just fucking murder fucking a whole Pringle, you know, like it was nothing. And it was like, well, why not? I don't have to fucking, why not, you know? But we all know there's more behind than what you weigh than just, you know, what you put in your body is about what you weigh. You know, it's healthy stuff, is cleaner, better fuel and all that stuff. But when you're at a point where you don't, you know, like you don't need to do that to make it, you let yourself eat that shit, you know, because why not? You know, like, why not? I'm still in shape. I'm going to make fucking the fight. Like, why not? But at 45, like, I don't get to eat shit like that. Like right now, like, everything I'm eating is clean. All my meals are pre-made, you know, clean meals with nothing in it. You know, I'm doing everything strict. And I like that. It's bringing a little fire back in. I'm a little pissed off more often right now. I'm pissed off all the time right now. And was me. You know, like that's how I was. I kind of got this little, I was just okay with everything. It was kind of, oh, whatever, you know, show up, fight, whatever. Like, I've never not loved fighting, but I lost a little edge. You know, this last fight really showed me that, because while I was in that cage, I didn't have any, like, give a fuck. Like, I was just like, you know, there was no, like, try to kill this guy. Like, he's taking shit from you. Like, and that was always my mentality earlier. Like, kill this guy, kill him. And sometimes I would bring that, and sometimes I wouldn't, you know. And I looked at going to 45 as I have to have that edge. I get there, I'm mad. This guy made me fucking eat freaking plain ass freaking chicken every damn day. You know, I had to do this, I had to do that. I haven't done anything to enjoy. All I've done is eat, train, sleep. That's it, you know. And then I look at that and it pisses me off. Like, and if I'm gonna do that, I better make it worth it, you know. And that means when I go in there, I better give this motherfucker everything I got and don't hold back. And like I said, I've been holding back a little bit. Last fight really showed. That last fight hurt my heart a lot. I think I've watched it maybe 1.5 times. I think I've only watched, and usually you go back and you analyze it and you look. I watched it once, okay, and then I started watching it another time, and that was like 4 weeks ago. I tried to watch it, and I couldn't even watch the whole thing. Like, I honestly, like, hurt my gut watching it and being like, you freaking pussy. Like, you go in there and you act like that, you know, you step in there, you got all your family, your friends behind you, and that's what you give them. You give them half of you, you know, like if they were standing behind you and my mentality usually when I go in there, I'm protecting my family, I'm protecting my people. They're behind me and this motherfucker's trying to get through me to get to them, you know, and that's usually the mentality I try to bring there. And I looked at that and I'm like, dude, you were just letting your family get massacred. You didn't care. You had nothing. You had no care in the world what this dude was doing. You know, he was coming to take you out, take your family out, and you were like just out there. And it's like, oh, go ahead, kill us all. You know, so that's been part of it, man. It's brought just a new fire and competitiveness out of me. You know, I'm looking at things differently. Training was getting monotonous, you know, like just everything. And now it's brought a fire, you know, it's just brought that, it's more that edge. You know, going to 45, like I said, I got to do everything right to make 45. Even at 55, I was lean, you know, so it's not like I was carrying all this extra weight at 55, you know, like I was still lean, but to get to 45, like obviously I'm going to be even leaner. I have to do everything correct. I can't miss a bike workout. I can't miss anything. I can't eat nothing crappy, you know, and that's just the mentality. It's just, I'm sharper right now. I'm more edgy.
Have you weighed yourself today?
Yeah, every day a bunch, you know. I think I'm getting smart. The last few days, I've been waking up around 60 to 62 usually. The last few days I've been 60, 59 when I wake up. Um, so like I said, and it's not like I'm not eating anything that I'm not supposed to eat. So I'm trying to keep it like how some people might, you know, a lot of guys will come to that weight and they're like 15 pounds that last week or freaking 10 or 15 that last day, you know, like whatnot. Like I don't cut weight like that. I make sure I'm bringing my weight down slowly, you know, and every week I want to be waking up or whatever, at least a pound or two lighter at this moment. You know, that's I want to get on that plane and I want to be, you know, on the way there, I'm at 10, you know, and then the next day it's 8, you know, like I'm bringing it down right. When I do this shit, I do it right. I'm not doing anything to blow up and come down. I'm not skipping stuff. I'm doing it all correct. You know, this is the first, obviously this first cut down. I'm making sure it's a smart cut. You know, I'm not trying to completely drain myself. You know, it's water, and the damn meals that they tell me to eat. You know.
So this will be your first time fighting ever at featherweight as a professional mixed martial artist.
No, no, I did it once, and this was the tell. I did it once, and honestly, it wasn't fun. I had to be strict like I am, and by the time the fight came around, I didn't really care. Like I had no balance. My life sucked. I freaking hated life at that moment. Like literally hated it. Did I feel amazing? Yeah. Like I still to this day remember warming up in the cage. Like, you know how you back then you got like get in the cage. I was doing my workout. I remember I was like fucking fast as fuck. I was quick. I was this, I was that. By the time the fight came around, I had no care. It was weird. Like, because the rest of my life sucked. Like, the rest of my life sucked at that moment. And this was, you know, 12 years ago. You know, I didn't have the balance. And after that, I was like, never again. You know, even after that, I questioned if I should fight because I was so ready and I was in such great shape. And then I lost. And I only lost when the fight turned the other direction for a second, and I didn't want to fight back. Like it was a weird spot. Like it's in here, you know. Like I've said before, physically I've been ready. I've never taken the shortcuts. I've never done that. I've never been I was talking to somebody before about I was a bounce, you know, a lot of fighters do whatever they got to do to make it at first. And I bounced for like 2.5 years. And I remember because you work at night, then you're able to train all day, you know? And I remember when I did it, I never enjoyed myself at all. And every night you get done at 2. Most of the bartenders and waitresses, and they're all hot ass girls. We know that. Like, we're all waitress, and we were at one of those places where they're all hot. Well, they stay after, they have drinks or pizza was always because the place made pizzas at late night so there's always a pizza, like, and they're all having drinks and hanging out, and Brandon, stay, have some drinks, have it. I never did one time, which is insane. 2.5 fucking years. And I didn't once. That was in the pinnacle of my time. And I look back at it, I'm like, damn, bro, you should have stayed back once, twice, maybe. Fuck. Like, enjoy
Were you
yourself.
a single man at the time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew,
And
that's some
most of
serious discipline.
that, bro, I've been very disciplined, bro, my whole life. I've been less disciplined during the last few years because it's like whatever. But during the beginning, bro, like people be like, Brandon hates pizza. It's like, dude, I don't hate fucking pizza, but I decided a long time ago I don't eat it. You know, like, and I was at that where everything was discipline. I did the correct things, but everything up here wasn't correct. Because again, I wasn't doing that little extra enjoyments maybe that I should have done. It's one of those nights I should have stayed after. Like I should have took a little. I didn't have the balance then. I couldn't figure out. I trained too much. I trained all the time. That's what I did. That's all I did. I had zero balance though. Like it was kind of crazy. Have you seen the new show Kingdom?
Oh yeah, I love that
Bro,
show.
I actually love it. I just finished it like 2 days ago. But so I always get the name Nate.
Yeah.
Nate is like, he's super strict with himself, like a party, having the protein drink and there's a party going on. Like, I look at him, I'm like, that was you. Like, you never let yourself enjoy shit, because you looked at it like, Nate, have fun sometimes. Like, enjoy yourself sometimes. And that was, that show is fucking crazy, because I can pick like little part, like it has some, they did their diligence and talked to fighters. Of course, they add way high core drama to it because it's a show. But that shit's like, a lot of that shit's real. I know they talked to some real fighters, and they're taking what they told them about their life, because I can take a little bit from every character and be like, whoa, 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 but the Nate, like I said, the Nate part and the party, like that was me, like never did nothing. We would even, some places I live, we'd have parties and I'd be up in my room playing fucking Call of Duty, who knows at that time, but I'd be playing a game and having no fun, like I didn't know how to balance it correctly. Like all I did was train, and it was good, and I built my foundation during that time. That's fine, but moral of the story is then I wasn't at a mental capacity to go 45, because what it took out of me at that moment, it took too much. I wasn't able to balance training and life and all that. So I knew that I couldn't do that anymore, because just where I was at life with everything else, it wasn't good. And now, like, I enjoy my life. Like, life is good. Back then, obviously, I was doing jobs to like make it. Now this is my full-time business. Losing weight is my full-time business. Like, it's not as hard as when you have to do it and then go work all night long and then come back and freaking do it and then go work. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different thing when now this is like, dude, like, is it hard? Of course I'm sacrificing some, but it's nowhere near what it was then. And I've seen it, and I knew that I should have probably did this earlier, but it took something like the last fight to really, ignite that and be like, take your seriousness up a little bit more. Like, I think I kind of lost that. Like, I didn't have, like, I used to be too serious, now a little less. Not saying partying and stuff. I've never been much of a partier, but not doing the little extras, that especially going to 45 is making me do,
Sure. Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, man. And I could speak for a lot of people in saying that we're thrilled to see what you're capable of doing, and potentially making a title shot run here at featherweight. When do you leave for Mohegan, and who will be in your corner come fight night?
We leave, I believe it's Saturday. So what is that, like 23rd or something like that? Saturday prior to the fight. And then in my corner will be Jake Ramos, my head coach, which is always my coach. And then Grant's me and Grant, like I said, got this bond, and there's just, again, like I look at him as the younger me, how he's the younger 50-pound heavier me, so Grant's there. And then my dad's been in the corner. Corner the last few fights, and it's kind of here there sometimes with my dad, but obviously he's never missed a fight. So during this COVID time or whatnot, he'll be in my corner. He might be in my corner every single fight from here on. He loves it, and I love to make him happy. So he loves being in there, so I love having him in there. I don't need 14 coaches in there telling me what to do. I got Jake in there, and he tells me, and I got Grant there for the energy and companionship of my boy, and I got my dad for the love. So it's a perfect combo.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Now Vici will obviously be there. Where will he be when you actually step inside the cage?
So he usually sits out in the audience, or sometimes he's been both. This fight he's gonna be up in the room. Right now, with where my energy's at, I'm on this whole different, everything's serious and it's kill and everything. That's where we're at right now. And Vici's my man and my dude, because he keeps me calmer in moments and keeps that edge down. So I'm letting this edge come completely out with this fight. There's no nice Brandon Girtz in this whole thing. Vici won't even be at weigh-ins. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be at the hotel. We don't travel without Vici. Vichi's around. I don't kick it really without him, but you ain't gonna see him as much as normal. He ain't gonna be lightening the room up. He lightens the load of the room. He makes it less intense. So he won't be in those situations. This fight's all about bringing back the intensity, bringing back the edge. Like I said, last fight I had no edge, I had no intensity. There was go out there, throw bombs and let's see what happened. No, I had no kill. Kill was never a part in my head. So this whole process is about keeping the intensity, keeping my edge, keeping the kill, remembering that I'm there for one thing and one thing only, and that's to take off Henry's head.
Mm-hmm. Now, I got to get your thoughts on, I guess, how big of a deal it is that Bellator has this contract now with CBS Sports Network. What do you think this is going to do for the promotion and really rising their star?
Well, I mean, CBS, dude, right? Like, fucking CBS. I get it, CBS Sports, and it's CBS Sports, and what we're bringing to it is fighting, which is one of the fastest growing sports in the world. Like, how can't this be a match made in heaven is what I look at it. I've never talked down about Paramount because obviously that was who was repping us and that's who we were on. But I'm also like, who the fuck is Paramount? Like, that's what I've been the whole time. Like, until we at least got a little DAZN. Like, half the time I didn't know how to freaking watch the damn fights. Like, I'm on Bellator and I couldn't even freaking find it. So now that I can talk on it, like, I don't Paramount. Like, who the hell is Paramount, dude? Country sinners. That's what I think about. I think country singing in fighting do not mix. At least, back in the day when it was Spike, that was Spike and Cops. Right. Like, freaking, we go together. Freaking, it's just, violence and mayhem. Like, what in the world was Paramount? So I'm stoked. CBS Sports, like, that's it says it in the damn name, sports, dude. CBS Sports. So I'm jacked, bro. I'm excited to see where it goes. I've also, heard lingerings of cross with Showtime, which again, Showtime, like, come on, like, that's another high level, and this is show business, man. Like, they mix. So I'm excited for the future here. I think we've really finally landed where we should be. Not saying I did like Spike too. Like, I thought that was the right thing. But when we went to Paramount, even the DAZN stuff, like, I didn't think they were a good pair. I didn't. For sure not Paramount. Again, country music. That's what I think. I don't know why. I have no idea what Paramount is, but I feel like country music. And country music and MMA aren't the same at all. So CBS Sports, I'm stoked to be on it, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a great thing. I think Bellator and Scott Coker are really making some phenomenal moves here as the promotion continues to rise. Let's talk about Henry, man. He's 17-5. He's coming off 2 losses in a row. Obviously, Juan Archuleta and Darian Caldwell are no chumps. Those are both legitimate fighters, and Archuleta, obviously, the new bantamweight champion. When you look at Corrales and you look at his style of fighting and what he brings to the table, you said you plan on taking his head off on multiple occasions in this interview. What do you think will officially go down when you guys get locked in that cage?
You're gonna see 2 dudes meet in the middle and fucking fight. Henry's who I asked for. This was the first fight. When I talked to Bellator, when I talked to my manager, when I talked to my team, I said, who is one of the grittiest, baddest men at 145? Who likes to come and fight? That's what I asked for. That's who I wanted. And Henry's who they came up with. The dude comes out with fucking no care who you are. He took me on. Like, I honestly don't feel like any 45er should have signed the first fight for Brandon Girtz at 45. Like, I don't feel like anybody. This guy didn't give a shit. Brandon Girtz, fuck him. That's how he's thinking. Like, I'm going to kill him. Come to 45, I'm going to show you. And that's what I want. Dude, I don't want this guy to try to point fight me. I don't want him running around throwing front kicks and low kicks and then moving and trying to freaking play a point game with me. This guy's going to come in, and I feel like I throw fucking heat at him, he's going to want to throw even more heat back at me, you know, and that's the fight we wanted. I want to come in, I want to make a splash at fucking 45. I could have come down and I could have been like, can I get a warm-up fight, you know, blah, blah. Like, that's not anything I want. I've never been about that. I've never asked for that. I've fought everybody. I always ask for the top people. And he's up there. You know, he was just in the featherweight tournament. Like you said, his 2 losses are to a champion and a champion. So this guy's no slouch, you know, and that's what I want. I want to go in there. I want to go in a firefight, and I want to take his head off of a guy that is a stud. And that's what this guy is. He's a tough dude. He's a tough dude. And when I take his head off, it'll be that much more impressive.
Does this fight get out of the first round?
If it gets out of the first round, this guy can take a punch. I'll tell you that much right now, because I'm not going to go out there, and I don't wait long. You know, I will be warmed up by the time I'm in that cage, so I don't need any time to warm up. And I'm going to come forward on him. I don't see it coming out of the first round, and if it does, he took some punishment, you know. There's no fucking way this is going to a decision unless this dude, I know he's tough, but he's going to have to take a Ben Henderson beating to make it to the third round. And, yeah, you know, we never know. But I'm coming in, and I'm going to be in some of the best endurance shape you've ever seen me in. And I'm going to be coming in there. I'm going to be putting pedal to the metal for 3 freaking rounds. I'm looking to make a splash. I'm not looking to just win in my first fight at 45. There's a big thing coming behind this. Like I said, I've taken his head off, and I'm trying to take his head off because I want to climb that ladder fast. There's no reason I shouldn't take his head off, take one more person, and then hello belt. Let me fight this person, because you're gonna see a different guy that you've only seen glimpses of. I feel like I haven't been fighting to my full potential at all times. We've seen glimpses. But like I said, I have a new little fire, and it's an edge, you know. And I'm looking to showcase that, and I'm not looking just to beat him. I'm gonna be looking for the knockout the whole time. And when I throw, they're gonna be knockout punches.
So just to be clear, your official prediction is a win via decapitation.
That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it, dude. He's, like I said, that's why we wanted this dude, because he ain't going to shy away from a firefight. And I don't believe we had the same ammunition. I think he's tough. I think he's a tough dude, and I think he's got no fear. I think that will be his downfall here. You know, as long who knows? We see another Henry Corrales, and they're saying, I guarantee they're telling them to do this and not get into that. You know, but this motherfucker can't help himself. You know, I believe that he's going to go in there and he's going to be himself. I'm going to tell him, bring your fucking self. Don't go fucking shy away and try to do nothing and fucking point around. Be yourself, and you're going to see a firefight, because this dude's tough. He's tough, and I'm not shying away, dude. I'm coming in there, and I'm coming in there to put fucking a beating on this dude.
So remind me again, what's your contractual situation right now? How many fights do you have left in your deal?
I think I got 2. I think I got 2.
So this one plus 2 more, or this one and one?
No, this one and one more. This one and one more.
And so when I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So I'm looking to make a big splash in these. I honestly see two performances of the nights, that the best performances you've ever seen out of me. Again, this is 45, and this is these people don't have. I go with 45ers, and they are smaller than 55ers. I'll tell you that much. And they do not have the same power and strength that I'm going to be bringing to this division.
So when you look at the other top featherweights in Bellator, whether it's AJ McKee or Emmanuel Sanchez, any of these guys, you feel like you're going to be able to go in there and just basically overpower them and run through them?
I definitely think I'm for sure 100% going to be the most powerful, strongest, most explosive fighter at that weight. You just mentioned some of the slicker dudes. Like AJ McKee got Fucking respect for that dude. I like that dude. I talk to that dude. He's cool. He's slick. He's a little sniper. You know, me and his shit don't. There's no way. And if McKee says he's stronger than me, he's fucking a straight liar. Then there's no way that he feels like when we're in there, he can grab me and then he feels like he's the stronger. If he says that, well, yeah, that's funny, you know. But that dude I like, and I think he's honestly the best. I think he's the top. I think he beats Pit. If he comes in and he fights, he beats Pitbull. I think that dude is. I think he's a top. He's a top talent. You know, Pitbull obviously top talent. Pitbull's strong. You know, I don't think he's gonna be stronger than me. You know, he ain't bigger. That dude's smaller. I've sized him up. You know, I like Pitbull too. That fight. Sanchez, he's I don't want to use the word slimy because I feel like that's disrespectful. He's just kind of slick and stuff. You know, like I that fight that's a different one. He's a little slick, he's a little slimy. You know, I don't feel like he's got the power to do it. He might have the speed. But he definitely don't have the power. The next one is Caldwell. Caldwell's good. His wrestling's good. He's just way too small for me. You know, I get it. That dude's what, 6'5" at fucking 65. I know he ain't 6'5", but he's a tall ass motherfucker for his weight and for being a 35er and whatnot. That dude was a 35er, dude. I've been fighting 70. I've fought in 70 multiple times, you know, and I've never even weighed 70. You know, like these guys, there's gonna be a difference. My strength hasn't gone anywhere. I look in the mirror, I don't look like I'm any fucking smaller. You know, I'm going to be the bigger person in there, any 45er I step against. Taller person? No, definitely not the taller one. But size-wise, I'm telling you, strength, there's a difference. And we haven't seen much of my ground game or when I change it up for a while. But with these little dudes, and even though I'm coming down to 45, I'm still calling them little dudes, you know, and we're going to see a difference there. We're going to see me be able to grab people, and you're going to see that strength difference.
Well, I cannot wait. I'm really just very excited for you to make your Bellator featherweight debut here again, October the 29th, Bellator 250, Mohegan Sun, Brandon Girtz, and Henry Corrales will get it on. I can't wait, my friend. Again, dude, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my man. You've really become one of my favorite interviews since I've started, really ramping up my journalism career. As always, it's a pleasure, man. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, the floor is yours.
I just want to take time to thank my team at Genesis, my coach, Jake Ramos, the head coach there, and my coach, Luke Coella. He's the shit. I'm actually going to be on his podcast. He's got it's like a hunting podcast, even though I'm not against hunting one bit. I do eat meat and shit, but I'm an animal lover. I could never, I've shot a squirrel once in my life and I felt really bad about it. So which is insane. I can't, if you're fucking with, the squirrel was fucking with my business, so I took him out. But other than that, I could never shoot nothing. But it's a little bit of a hunting MMA podcast that he does, and he's great, dude. He's a big part of our gym and a big part of my training. So thank them, my family, my dad always being there. I've been drinking it. So right here, I might as well shout out to RX Water. I know we've been seeing them around in sports. This alkaline water with electrolytes, I guess. I had no idea, dude. I drink sink water most of my life. I didn't really give a crap about what it had in it and whatnot. But now that I finally getting smarter, I look into it and I'm like, I guess this alkaline and things actually is beneficial. So shout out to them, man. They're actually doing big things. And other than this one is plastic. I'm not big into that. I feel like we kind of got to rid the world of it. But they do have aluminum bottles too, which is, I guess the safer and more way to go. We can recycle that shit versus plastic this world. I'm not about this. I just honestly had this one, and my bad with the plastic in this world. I don't want to support that. I'm trying to be a better part for this world. So, but yeah, well, I guess I got this on too. So, Leo Rivera, man, the most comfortable fucking workout gear, and I'm not even the Palestinian line, dude. I gotta get you something. But their fucking workout gear is, I'm not even joking, their Palestinian line, I don't know what they make it with, but I literally only wear that that stuff now, especially their tracksuit. You'll see me out in it, but I literally wear the tracksuit every time I fly because it's the only like comfortable as hell thing I have. So
very cool.
But yeah, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Shout out, what's your beef jerky, man? Because that shit was bomb, bro.
You know it.
Bomb. We gotta send some more of that out here. We ate that. I ate that stuff up in like one sitting. That shit is good. And like I said, Grant and everybody, the 1 or 2 pieces I gave out, everybody said this is the shit. Because I wasn't handing it out. Me and Beachy were selfish with it. So,
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a bulk package so your whole team can get some. I'll make sure to take care of you guys, man. Because, yeah, Ryan's Own Beef Jerky. It's my friend Ryan Valancourt. He's one of my sponsors, and he really just has an amazing product. He's right here up in my area in central Maine, and he's just a great guy, and his beef is the best around.
Well, I think honestly, I think it's the passion. I think he actually has something into it because that when you make shit with love, especially food, dude, it tastes better. And I'm telling you, that's some of the best beef jerky I've had. So yeah. I can tell that dude probably has a major passion about it, and he's not just producing it to fucking be a millionaire. He's producing it because he's passionate about it. So that's what life's about, brother. You got to be passionate about the shit. Like I said, and why I rep this company. It's the fucking most comfortable shit I wear. Why I've been fucking drinking this, like looking into that stuff, and people, like I said, with their aluminum cans, and they're actually trying to make a difference in the world. And I think their goal is to not even put it in plastic anymore, to try to, to just to be a better part for this world. You got to do shit you're passionate about,
Absolutely.
And that's what it's about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, again, always great to talk to you, my friend. I really appreciate you consistently taking the time to join me. I can't wait for your fight with Henry. Best of luck. Go get that W. And hopefully I'll be seeing you again at the Mohegan here very soon.
Absolutely, brother. You have a good rest of your day, my man. Thank you.